Hello and welcome to Moment of Truth on Labour Social. I'm Graham Hughes. Today I want to talk about Boris Johnson's COVID-era notebooks, diaries and WhatsApp messages that have been demanded by the official COVID inquiry. The government and the inquiry are locked in a standoff over what information should be shared. Heather Hallett, the chair of the public inquiry into the government's handling of COVID, has requested a vast trove of documents from the Cabinet Office. The requested documents included messages on the phones of Boris Johnson and the number 10 aide, Henry Cook, related to the pandemic. This encompassed WhatsApp messages exchanged with other senior figures in the government, ranging from ministers like Rishi Sunak to special advisors like Dominic Cummings and officials up to the cabinet secretary level. Lady Hallett initially set a deadline of the 12th of May for the documents to be handed over, but the Cabinet Office requested her to reconsider. The deadline was subsequently extended to 4 p.m. today, but it's now been pushed further back to the 1st of June. The Tory government has objected to Hallett's request, saying it disagreed with the relevance of certain information to the inquiry. But why would there be irrelevant stuff being discussed at the time? There was a pandemic going on. The whole country was shut down. Over 200,000 people have died, for heaven's sake. The Cabinet Office argued that communications between ministers, traditionally documented in letters or faxes, should remain confidential until long after several administrations have passed under this so-called 30-year rule. While a public inquiry has the right to request more information, it must be considered potentially relevant in their language. The Cabinet Office disagreed with Hallett's assessment of the relevance of redacted information. Additionally, the government expressed concerns about sharing an extensive set of messages with a non-governmental body, potentially compromising the confidentiality of their contents. The thing is, though, the COVID inquiry doesn't have to publish every piece of evidence it receives. The Cabinet Office admitted just before the latest deadline that it did not possess Johnson's notebooks or his WhatsApp messages, which came as some surprise. Like, who's got them? Are there no copies? Did no one photocopy them? I mean, did no one take a screenshot? Has the Met got them? So, Hallett has given the Cabinet Office an additional 2 days to comply, and they have this new deadline of 4 p.m. on Thursday. She has also demanded a senior civil servant provide a statement with further facts. Hallett seeks clarification on any correspondence between the Cabinet Office and Johnson's office regarding the notebooks and WhatsApp messages, as well as information on whether the notebooks were in the possession of the Cabinet Office in the past 3 months. She also wants clarity on whether Johnson's messages were on a personal or government device. Jonathan Jones, a former head of the government legal department, has outlined several possible outcomes to all this, including the inquiry backing down and not pursuing the information, reaching a compromise with the government to disclose some information while redacting other parts, or facing legal action from the Cabinet Office. This is the most interesting of all the outcomes mentioned by Jones. The inquiry initiating criminal proceedings against the government for failure to respond, or the inquiry seeking an enforcement order from the High Court. Obviously, relations between Johnson and the Cabinet Office have deteriorated recently, as lawyers supporting him during the COVID inquiry felt obliged to refer certain details in his diaries to the police. But here's the thing, if they delete anything juicy now, the Cabinet Office, or the members of the Cabinet Office, won't be able to swear under oath that they never saw any incriminating diary entries, WhatsApp messages, etc. I'll just say to the Tories what they love to say themselves when issues of freedom and police overreach are brought up. If you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear.